Well, people, welcome to another edition of the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph podcast featuring the one and only Mike Steph, best in the world at what he does. Yes. I'm a day late, but I'm still great. And I'm here to give you all the news that you can use in hopefully less than 90 minutes. Because as what normally happens when I choose to wait until Monday afternoon, I have some errands to run with my lovely wife, and she gets off in about 65 to 70 minutes. So I need to have this wrapped up by the time that she comes through that door. So yeah, but trust and believe I work better under pressure. I work better when my back is against the wall. Speaking of whose back is against the wall, even though it's the first game of the playoffs, that would be my New York Knickerbockers. Yes. I'm going to give you a rundown of what we're going to get into today on this episode, and then we're going to get right to the shits. All right? All right. Back against the wall. The New York Knickerbockers start their second round playoff series against the Boston Celtics in Boston tonight. Tip-off is about 7:02 this evening. So hopefully this will be uploaded and given to y'all prior to tip-off, so everything that I say would not be passe. I swear, when I say passe like that, it's close to another P word that would not be uttered, at least not yet, because we're not even 2 minutes into this. Anyway, the reason I say the Knickerbockers' backs are against the wall, even though we're entering the first game of the second round series, is because we have yet to beat these Boston Celtics this season. We are 0-4 against the Celtics, and a lot of pundits, including fake ass Stephen A. Smith, is saying that we might get swept. Is praying that we don't get swept. I'm sorry. Triple B right here, big body Brunson, ain't gonna allow that to happen. Karl Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby, MIKAL Bridges, but big body Brunson ain't gonna allow that to happen. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see the first couple minutes of this game tonight, that I'm fully gonna be ready, willing, and able to watch. So we're going to talk about the New York Knicks in their first round series against the Boston Celtics, and we'll give a little cap, so to speak, of Game 6 heroics by this man on my chest. Pause. Big body Jalen Brunson and his game-winning theatrics in Game 6 against those Detroit Pistons. Yes. Then, after we finish that, I'll be talking about the New York Football Giants. Yes, the New York Football Giants. And I know a lot of long-time listeners are probably like, hold on, I thought you wasn't going to do any more slander on the New York Football Giants. No, actually, I'm not doing any slander on the Football Giants themselves. I'm going to direct my ire, I'm going to direct my slander toward the newest additions of your franchise, who have no respect for authority, no respect for history, no respect for what a retired number means. Yes. Are we talking about the latest in a long line of disrespectful rookies? ABDUL of the New York Giants. Yes. And his follies in trying to get a number that's been raised to the rafters, that's on the wall of fame, the circle of fame, whatever the fuck y'all want to call it. I know we call ours the Ring of Honor. But as an NFL fan, as a football fan of a certain age, as a football fan of over 40 some odd years, there's certain things that are just off limits. And it seems like these rookies are coming into your franchise feeling way too entitled. And guess what? Mr. Reality Check is going to give them a reality check. I'm sorry. If y'all New York Football Giants fans have a problem with me giving these pups a reality check, maybe y'all should have gave them a reality check long time ago. Think I give a rat's ass about their feelings. No, as you can tell, I'm in one of those moods today. I will not specify why I'm in one of those moods, but needless to say, I am in one of those particular salty moods, prickly moods. Yeah, one of those. So that will be on the docket this week. And last but not least, for all my wrestling fans that have newly subscribed to the channel, I am a man of my word. I am a man of honor. I am a man of loyalty. And I said, going forward, especially now since the sports seasons are starting to dwindle down, I will dedicate one segment, at least one segment a week, toward wrestling, because I think that's kind of what y'all ended up coming to me for. So I am going to serve y'all what y'all came. Listen, it's not a reciprocal business, but at the same time, if y'all patronize my channel, I'm going to give y'all the product that y'all came to the channel for. And this past week, we had the yearly ritual of post-WrestleMania WWE roster cuts. I'm going to go down the list of roster cuts, and while some of the platforms say, well, you know, I'm not going to engage of why did this one get released and why this one stay, guess what? I'm going to give it to y'all raw and uncut. I'm going to say, yeah, why did homegirl get to stay and why homegirl is walking out the door? Why did this dude get to stay and why this dude is walking out the door? Yeah. Shoot. Got to be level. There's balance. There needs to be balance to the universe. You have your Siths and you have your Jedis. And as a former Sith, yes, I emphasize former Sith, there must be balance to the Force. There must be balance to the universe. And Mr. Face of the Faceless is just that man to give balance to the Force, give balance to the universe. So yeah, those are the three topics that I have on deck this week. Now, before I get to those topics, because since it's on the top of my head, I am going to speak on gym etiquette. I know. Far be it from me, the newbie in the gym, to talk about gym etiquette, but guess what? That's what I'm here for. Okay, this is not going to be a full-fledged salty trap tales. No. But some of my observations the last couple of days, last couple of times, last couple of visits to the gym have left me scratching my head. Listen, like I said, I am not a pro. I wouldn't say I'm an expert, but there's certain attires that need not to be worn at the gym. Listen, I still haven't gotten my full-fledged gym uniform, my gym clothes up. You know, I'm just putting on a sweatshirt, some sweatpants, and going. And you know, make sure I'm going to give a preemptive pause for this. Make sure I Vaseline the nipples so I don't get no chafe. And make sure I have some long johns / tights underneath so I don't get the thigh chafe either. Listen, I got to go and get some tights. I got to get some gym shirts, the whole nine. Hold your horses, soon come. Anyway, but at least I know that. I've seen on numerous occasions when I'm doing my treadmill, that some people don't believe in that. Why did I see homegirl walking around with the bra on? No, not a tank top. No, not a sports bra. No, a legitimate bra. Why? Do you think that's sexy? Do you think that's appropriate? You're such a you're fiending so much to get those endorphins running, that serotonin running, that dopamine rush, that you say, you know what? I'm going to the gym, and guess what? I'm going to work out in my bra. Nobody wants to see their tacky ass bra. I don't care if it's Fredericks from Hollywood. I don't care if it's Victoria's Secrets. I don't care if it's Victoria's Secretions. I don't care about none of that shit. It's tacky. It's nasty. Plus, you're getting that shit sweaty. And then you probably gonna go and lay under some man and talk about, yeah, don't you want this funky puss? Got tired of talking about, yeah, there's some good shit under this gut. Yeah. Oh, disgusting. As my nephew would say, disgusting. Another thing that I do not like, and I know probably you're like, well, keep your eyes to yourself, which is fair. Listen, ladies, if you're gonna go to the gym, if you're gonna have spandex on, or you're gonna have your tights on, then you probably should wear underwear that flatters your tights, i.e., seamless underwear, or i.e., maybe no underwear at all. But regardless, either there. Because if you're walking around and I can see the lining of your cheap ass 99-cent underwear, your cheap ass, not Fruit of the Looms, but vegetable string. Oh, yeah, I know that one didn't hit. If you're gonna have one of those, then maybe, just maybe, you need to invest in something better. I'm looking at things are coming in my line of sight, in my line of vision, and I'm just like, why? Who? Why? Yeah, I don't know. I need a palate cleanser.
What we gonna do? Drive around, raise the sunroof, rap loud. We gon' come through, cause we got no time to waste. Gotta rap where we come from. Ain't a fight that we could ever run from. Tell your girl she can kick it if she wants some.
Yeah, I just need a palate cleanser, cause that's my bop. Tell your girl if she wants some, she can come kick it. If she wants some, and you want some, cause we got no time to waste. Yeah, please check out the newest episode of 4AZ right now with Tyler McDowell blinking, and I will give full promo to that at the end of this episode because I gotta get this shit up and running. So without further ado, good night, mwah, and goodbye. Bang.
Salty thoughts of Mike Steph, this marks a new beginning. Thanks for supporting, a total reinvention. The soul is still here, but the vibe's a little different. Unpredictable, hide the kids and the women. Sports of all sorts, music, mixed for living. Rep New York City, but hate the politicians. Always bring the heat, Steph baking in the kitchen. Big shout to y'all, I appreciate the listen. Donnie put the rest, but I'm still in the best. In the word of what I do, all y'all know the rest. I live it, I breathe it, I'm the whole definition. The pinnacle, the ultimate, I'm on a new mission. The salty thoughts of Mike Steph, featuring the one and only Mike Steph, the best in the world at what he does. Tap in.
My New York Knickerbockers defeated the Detroit Pistons in 6 games in the first round, especially due to Triple B, Big Body Brunson, And his game winner with less than 4 seconds remaining in game 6, where he hit Thompson with the doop doop crossover for a clean look at the game winning 3-pointer at the top of the key. Yes. Look at this. Doop doop. Scrat skid. Yes. For the 3rd straight season, my New York Knickerbockers are advancing in the playoffs thanks to Big Body Brunson's 40-point, 7-assist masterpiece. Last Thursday night, the Knicks were savoring this gritty victory. Unfortunately, they blew leads of 15 points in the second quarter and 11 points in the fourth quarter. They trailed by 7 when Big Body Brunson started the series closing 11-1 run against the Detroit Pistons with a 3-point play. He added a basket inside, and MIKAL Bridges pulled the Knicks even with a tip-in. Finally, that mother effer did something right, but he dropped 25 in the deciding game 6, so I can't really get on him this time. Just over a half a minute remained. Now, quoted was Karl Anthony Towns after the game saying, "I was wondering if we were going to get a swish or he was going to hit some type of part of the rim." Listen, Cat, you gave us 3 good games in the series. No denying that. But in the deciding game of that series, you weren't even on the floor when it mattered due to you fouling out with 10 points, 15 rebounds. Now, I will give him grace for this reason and this reason alone. Before he fouled out, he did come up with one of the defensive plays of the game in which he stole the ball and on a breakaway got fouled and brought them to within 1 because he made the first free throw, and when the all-deciding, the ever-important second free throw came up, he came up embarrassingly short. Like short to the fact of those nerves got to him. Short to the fact of his ass got tight. Short to the fact that it came to, as Bomani Jones would entitle it, lemon booty. So I don't really want to hear your comments after the game talking about, I was wondering if it was going to be swish or wonder if it's going to hit some part of the rim. Mother effer, maybe you would have had a closer look if you was actually on the court in that deciding play. But at the same time, being the fact he wasn't on the court, it allowed them a little bit more mobility because they did the 2-man game with Bridges coming to give the screen to Thompson, and that allowed Big Body Brunson to go to his right, his right hand, because Thompson thought he was going to go to the left. No. Go to the right. Nothing but that. Now, the talk throughout the first round series was about Detroit's grit and physicality. That these Knicks lacked the toughness of last year's version, and I'm one that agrees with that. I'm one that has said on numerous occasions we missed the big ragu, which is ironic because the big ragu is going to go against another former team of his, the Golden State Warriors, in the second round when the Timberwolves face the Warriors, which is strange. And not to get too much off track, because I'm picking and I'm rooting for the Timberwolves to defeat the Golden State Warriors. Yes, I know. Warrior. No, that's passe. That's a couple years ago. Listen, I didn't officially jumped off the bandwagon over there. But one bandwagon that I've never been on because I've been a tried and true New York Knickerbocker fan from day one. Even when we was at our depths, I was always repping my Knicks. But we do miss the big ragu. Do we miss Julius Randle? I think we miss Hartenstein more than Randle, to tell you the truth. We had DiVincenzo and Hartenstein right now. I did say that if we had one of them, I did say we would be the favorites to come out the East. I'm not scared of the Cavs. Nor should I be. Nor should we be. Not really scared of the Celtics. It's just the proof is in the pudding. We're 0-4 against the Celtics, but we'll get to them in a minute. So with all the lack of grit that everybody said that this team has shown throughout this season, do you know that 3 of our 4 victories in the series will come from behind fourth quarter comebacks? Remember that 20-something to 0 run in game 1 that cemented the victory? We took a haymaker in game 6. We had on the opposite end of a 20-2 run in the fourth quarter by the Pistons. But we landed the final punch with 11-1 run. But that's in the past. Listen, this goes out to my brother from Marana, Arizona. That is specifically from the UP, as he entitled it, the UP in Michigan. Former guest on the Social Thoughts of Mike Step podcast, Brad Winchester, Detroit Pistons fan. Better luck next year. And this is not do no shade, because for y'all to have that turnaround from less than 15 victories from the year before to go to game 6 in the first round against the 3rd seed, to have over 40 some odd wins in the next season, to have like a 30 some win difference is very, 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 very commendable. It's very, 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 very great for y'all, and I'm happy for y'all. I'm happy for you. You know, I mean, shoot, Detroit sports are having a resurgence. You have your Detroit Tigers, you have your Detroit Lions, and you have your Detroit Pistons, all being in the mix. You know, hopefully we do not see y'all next year, because, to tell you the truth, this was the one matchup I did not want, but we became victorious, and y'all have nothing to be ashamed of whatsoever. You see, that's my magnanimous side. That's my humble side. That's my side that 2 years ago you'd probably be like, you know what, fuck this dude. But that's what we call growth. Now, for the teams that actually are playing, the New York Knickerbockers, can they get it past the Boston Celtics? Boston. Boston mostly dominated our season series, taking the first 3 games by a combined 63 points before pulling out an overtime victory in April to complete a thorough 4-game sweep. The reigning champs, the Boston Celtics, closed the regular season on a 19-3 run and dispatched of the Magic in 5 games in the opening round, which was actually a closer series than people realized because there was only blowouts in game 1 and game 5. And when I'm talking about the Magic with a depleted team, they were a depleted team. So they got that extra little bit of rest. Drew Holiday this morning has been cleared with no injury designation. So they will be full throttle. You know, Jaylen Brown's knee is non-existent. It's not an issue. Jason Tatum's wrist, it's not an issue, according to them. Porzingis, that cocksucker, he's still there. And it's funny because last offseason, one of the reasons why we made that trade for Karl Anthony Towns was to try to legitimately match up with the Boston Celtics, position by position. Y'all got a big man that can shoot threes? We got a big man that can shoot threes. Y'all got 2 wings that can score and defend? We got 2 rings that can score and defend. Y'all got 2 guards that could defend and shoot the 3? We got 2 guards. Yeah, that's where we come up short. We got a dynamic guard. We got an all-NBA guard. We got Jalen effing Brunson. But nobody will accuse him of being a defensive dynamo. We have Campaign, who's undersized. We have Deuce McBride, who, I don't know, it seems like the lights are getting a little bit too bright for him this offseason. Last offseason, he came through, but this offseason, I don't know. I mean, that's not to disparage Deuce, because Deuce has done the damn thing. Like, for him to be an integral part of a playoff rotation, especially from his origins, nothing but gravy, baby. But I don't know. Can we go a little deeper in the bench? I don't know. I feel like this. This is how I feel, especially when it comes to game 1. If by chance this game gets away from us early, and it's past the point of no return, I believe that Tibbs should pull the plug early and put the bench players in. Precious Achiuwa should get some burn in this series. He didn't get a lick of burn in that 6-game series, and me and Money Mike want to know why. You mean to tell me in this series you can't use Precious's energy, can't use his 6 fouls, more importantly? If they're gonna bring out old ass Al Horford, you mean to tell me Precious can't get some time on the floor? Mitch Robb, yes, but Mitch Robb has limitations. You cannot put him in crunch time because they'll do the hack of Mitch. He's not a scoring threat unless he's dunking and putting back. Yes, he is a defensive dynamo, but you have to pick your spots. So what I was saying is, put Kolek in. If it's, God forbid, if it's garbage time, put Kolek in. Let him get some of that playoff atmosphere. Because God forbid something happens to big body Brunson, because he's come out of every game in the postseason, at least for a couple minutes. Something happens to him, you're going to have to put Kolek in, right? But you're going to just ride with Deuce and Cam? Landry Shamet, I'm not saying give him extensive minutes, but you got to give him some minutes just so he can get the playoff juices flowing. I'm not saying we need to go 10 deep, but on occasion, give that 9 and 10th man at least a couple minutes. So therefore, in the crunch time, in the fourth quarter, when let's say we're down by 5, our players have something in the reserve to go to in crunch time instead of running on E. You know how you drive? I don't have these problems, but you know how you drive and that gas light comes on and you're like, damn, I got about 5 minutes to find me a gas station. Like I said, not that I do that because I don't let my gas tank go below a quarter tank, because kind of peanut butter and bullshit type of thing is that. But you do that so you don't get all the soot or the residue in there and gunk up your fucking fuel injecting system. That's what you do. That's what you do. That's what you do. So I guess this would be probably the time for me to give a prediction, right? Now, do I go with my head, or do I go with my heart, or do I go a combination of both? I predicted, much to a lot of people's chagrins, I predicted Knicks in 6 in the first round match, because I was just like, you know what? The Knicks will give up a game that we should win. That we always do. So when they had a chance to clinch it game 5, I knew we wasn't going to clinch in game 5. And something stupid happened, and we ended up clinching in game 6. Now, my heart tells me Knicks. My head tells me Celtics. So I'm going to split the bit. I'm going to say Knicks in 7. You heard me, because I'm not going to lie. If the Knicks are going to win, you don't go from getting swept in the regular season the way we did to winning against that same team, barring any injuries, in less than maximum amount of games. So I feel like if we're going to win in 7 games, meaning we're going to have to win in Boston. It's not impossible. Not afraid of them. Not scared of them. If we lose, matter of fact, I'm not even going to put that in the atmosphere. Not even going to put that in the universe. My prediction, and throughout this series, I will be coming through with sprinkles of salts. So please, like, subscribe, share, tell a friend, comment, the whole 9. Knicks in 7. We don't have the clutch player of the year for nothing. Josh Hart is going to come through. Cat is going to give us at least 3 games. But more importantly, can we make sure that Porzingis doesn't get off at all? If we could just cut it down and only have to worry about Tatum and Brown, that's half the battle. Cut everybody off. Cut everybody's faucet off. If those 2 men could beat us, salute. But I do not want to see any Al Horford heroics. I don't want to see Porzingis drop 30. I don't want to see Derek White come through and drop 25. I don't want to see Drew Holiday come down and lock Jalen Brunson up. I want to see none of that. Let it be literally 2-on-2. And OG, please, can we get some offense out of you when it matters? Bridges, we've seen that you have it in you. Can you average 20 in this series? Huh? Can you actually play some legit lockdown defense? OG, matter of fact, how about this? OG, just concentrate on defense. Whatever you give us on offense, it's a plus. And in order for Cat to stay out of foul trouble, that's why I say put Precious in the game. Not for Cat, but put Precious in the game. So therefore, Precious can pick up some of those fouls that Cat foolishly picks up. And that's my preview. And that's my prediction. And that, my friends, is go New York, go New York, go New York, go New York, go. Next on the agenda, Abdul Carter wants New York Giants to unretire numbers of past greats. Do the New York effing Giants have an entitlement problem? rookies not respecting the history by asking for numbers to be unretired for them. And this is some of these quotes are courtesy of Yahoo Sports. Just to get that out the way. Abdul Carter is still looking for his New York Giants jersey number, but not for lack of trying. The number 3 pick in the 2025 NFL Draft made requests this week to don the jersey numbers of Giants greats Lawrence Taylor, number 56, and Phil Simms, number 11, and was turned down by both. Both numbers have been officially retired by the Giants for years. So Carter needed their permission to unretire them. He made the first request of Taylor, saying during an interview on draft night that he had the number 56 in mind for his Giants career. Oh, did he? Oh, did he? Ain't that a bitch? Like, not only is LT a Giants great, he is an NFL great. He is a Hall of Famer. You have yet to even touch grass, my man, on an NFL field. And you're already talking about, yeah, I envision myself to have the number 56. Is he out his effing mind? Is he out his effing mind? No Giant has worn number 56 since Lawrence Taylor's 142 sack career with the team ended in 1993. That is 32 years ago. Do you think that they should just throw away history? Their history? A man that brought them 2 championships, 2 Lombardi trophies to Jersey, East Rutherford, New Jersey? For you? Because that's what you thought? That's what you envisioned? That's what you had in mind? The unmitigated gall. Taylor politely but firmly turned the request down the following day via the New York Post. I know he would love to wear that number, but hey, I think it's retired. Go get another number. I don't care if it's 00. And then make that shit famous. End quote. I added that shit. Carter at least took the rejection in stride. Well, like, what else is there for him to do but to take it in stride? You're asking an NFL great to give up their number that they earned through blood, sweat, and tears, that they earned throughout their glorious history, that they earned throughout their coke-filled, crack-induced rage on the field, that they earned in blood, sweat, and tears for you because you had a decent career in Penn State. I don't get it. I don't get it. I really don't get it. So once he got rejected by LT, he said, you know what? Let me try the light of the persuasion. Let me try. Good old Phil Simms. Carter's next choice was his old number at Penn State, number 11. Unfortunately, that number was worn by Phil Simms during his 15-year career in New York, in which he also won 2 Super Bowls and retired as the franchise's leading passer. Only Eli Manning has since passed him. Did Eli ask for number 11? No, he asked for number 10. Did he say, you know what? You need to give me a number 11? No, he remained with number 10. And of course, 10 was his number anyway. Unlike Taylor, Simms, I don't know why, Sims actually expressed the openness to the idea on this past Friday, saying that he had no problem if either Carter or the number 25 overall pick quarterback Jackson Dart wanted it. However, he said his inner circle might not approve. I told some of my friends and people around me, I said, I'd let him have it in a second. I said, can you just help it? Can you just help it a little and make it better or whatever? I think it would be a lot of fun. It wouldn't bother me. If they really want it, but my wife, I don't know if my family said anything. The boys didn't say anything, but my agent, don't you dare give up that jersey number. Well, first off, I don't think Abdul Carter is going to ask for it. But if he would have, I would. If it was up to me, I probably would have given it to him. Now, the latter part of that quote ended up being rather important, as veteran journalist Gary Myers, whose Once a Giant book covered both Sims and Taylor's 1986 Super Bowl team, reported later on that Friday that Sims told him that he was outvoted by his family and Carter would need a new number. Again, Carter took the news with good humor. The humorous part is the fact of the hubris that he has to even attempt to ask for that number. Now, in Carter's defense, so they say, there's been recent precedent for what he has twice attempted to do. And this is where I get on the New York Giants franchise as a whole. Malik Neighbors, the number 6 pick in last year's NFL draft, received permission from the family of Giants great Ray Flaherty to don the number 1 last season. And that's where they fucked up. They should have even told the family, listen, it's not up to you. Even if it is up to you, it's not up to you. This man, yeah, we picked him number 6. It's our first round draft pick, but he doesn't come in here and dictate it. He gets the number we give him. We give him number 2, guess what? He's gonna be number 2. If we give him number 22, guess what? He's gonna be number 22. If we give him number 98, 99, 98, that's what? That's Armstead. 99, 92, 91, 85, 88. Matter of fact, is he trying to go for 88? Does he want Mark Pavaro? No. Why not? He's a Giant great. You don't want that shit? Do you want number 20, Joe Morris? Do you want number 27? What the hell is his name? The running back, Hampton? You're not asking for 21. You're not asking for Tiki's number, are you? Yeah, I know they're not retired, but still, those are numbers that are available. You don't want number 15, Jeff Ostetler? He got a ring to his account. You're not asking for Eli's number, are you? I know a number that's actually available. Number 8, Daniel Jones. You don't want Daniel Jones' number? You don't want to take that number to great heights? Now, continue. Though, even in that case, the family of Ray Flaherty needed to talk it out amongst themselves before acquiescing. Jersey request aside, Carter is joining the Giants with a mountain of hype behind him. The 21-year-old was considered a number 1 pick worthy talent after a Penn State career, in which culminated in a unanimous All-American and Big Ten Defensive Players of the Year honors after a junior season with the nation best 24 sacks, 24 tackles for a loss, and 12 sacks. So effing what? So effing what? You don't want the number 5? Oh, yeah, that's Thibodeau. Ask Thibodeau to give up his number. You don't want Danny Cannell's number? Like I said, you don't want Jesse Armstead's number? You don't want OC Umanura number? Matter of fact, how about you don't want Strahan's number? I dare you to ask Strahan for his number. I dare you. Go on and on and on and on. Matter of fact, after 63, you don't want Jim Burke's number? Or 65? Bart Oates' number? What about 55? Gary Reasons? What people don't realize, and this is just me tooting my own horn, I just went off the top of my head on numerous numbers from Giant history, and everybody, these motherfuckers think that I'm a Giant hater. No, I'm a Giant appreciator. I'm a Jets fan, though. But I went off the top of my fucking head, off number after number after number after number after number. Damn, what's it, 99? Steve Diarty? Yeah, I pulled that one out my ass. How about Carl Banks? You don't want to ask Carl Banks for his number? Number 58? It's crazy. It's crazy. I don't know if these numbers are retired or not. But the two most important players in the history of the Giants, especially during that 1980s and 1990s run. The identity of the history of the New York Giants, you wanted their number. But yet, you got the coach talking about how he didn't like Shedeur Sanders' attitude during his meeting. Yeah, I said it. I think the Giants got a big problem on their hand. Maybe it's a sign of how these generations just come up with no fucking respect for history, for lineage, for goals. It's one thing to have a goal, and like LT said, you could wear 00 for all I care. Make that ish something in your own name. Gonna ride off my coattails for 56? Nah, that ain't gonna happen. Yeah, young buck. Yeah, I said it, young buck. Take him to any given Sunday. Any given Sunday, he can get it. But yeah, Giants fan, don't be mad at me for pointing out the obvious. Y'all got a problem. Y'all got two entitled mother effers on your team. And if y'all think y'all gonna win with them, y'all got another thing coming. Y'all better whip them in shape. Let them know what the Giants truly stand for. Like I said, I'm a Jets fan, and I knew what the Giants stood for. What they stand for now? Huh? What do they stand for? Answer that amongst yourselves. Listen, I know my team had no expectation for this year. Your team should have a ferocious defense. And sometimes defense wins championships. And sometimes defense can get over a putrid offense, especially when you got Russell Wilson behind center. And then his backup is famous Jameis. But I speak the truth. They don't call me Mr. Reality Check for nothing. Or should I say, I don't call myself Mr. Reality Check for nothing. The audacity, the unmitigated gall. Please. That time of year has come. The post WWE WrestleMania roster cuts, the releases. I believe about 12 people got released this past Friday. And I have one question. Are we really surprised when you think about it? On the screen right now, Corey Jade. That would be a surprise, especially after all the work she's done, both in and outside the ring. to make herself more marketable. And they just say, you know what? Thanks for the memories, baby. Get out of here. But she's 24, 25. She'll be back. If she decides not to burn any bridges, but she will be back. She has close friends in Roxanne Perez, who, to a certain degree, I, I don't know what they're doing with Roxanne Perez. Like, it's like she became Jabba to the stars. Like, I don't understand, but that's another discussion for another time. CM Punk, unfortunately, you must not have that much pull, but think about it like this. You got to realize with the majority, matter of fact, not even the majority, the totality of all these releases, it's way different this time than it was in the past. In the past, when you got released, for the most part, you knew it came down to the decision of one man, the old man, Vincent K. McMahon. Yeah, he could say, yeah, which God it was Bruce's fault, or it was JR's fault, or it was this person, that person. But everybody knew the buck stopped at Vince McMahon's desk, at his feet. Now with the TKO, Endeavor, merger, the whole nine, the decision makers aren't really the decision makers. They look pretty much on paper. This person has been here this long, and what return investment are we getting from this person? Whether fair or foul. People are talking about, oh, there's a pattern going on. There's a lot of, I noticed that the last 2 or 3 releases, they always have to have a LGBTQ plus member released. Okay. Oh, do you think it's coincidental that that Shayna Baszler was the focus of a roast topic by Paul Heyman, in which he accused one of the women wrestlers to actually having a dick, and then 2 weeks later, Shayna Baszler was unceremoniously released. Definitely not great in optics. Oh, and her ex, Dakota Kai, was written out, was released also, along with her current boyfriend, Eddie Thorpe. Okay, so what? Based on who you fucking, that decides whether or not you get to stay or not? I'll give you 2 outliers to that philosophy. Maybe this is right, maybe this is wrong. Who knows? I have actually started watching LFG, Legends of Future Greats, not Let's Fucking Go. And well, I know the majority of it is scripted and all that. I mean, everything according to The Rock, everything you see on screen is a work. So even a reality series are work, which, listen, I know that. All right. I didn't know that Roxanne Perez was dealing with the guy with the overalls. I forgot his name. The guy from the Bayou. Did that save him from getting cut? No. Katana Chance and Kaden Carter. They got cut. Matter of fact, let's go down the list. And I'll let you know who I believe. Matter of fact, let's just go down the list. Dakota Kai. All right. Dakota Kai, main roster cut. She got cut before, but last time the cut only lasted about a couple months before Triple H brought her back. And she made her triumphant return at SummerSlam 22 as part of Damage Control with the returning Bayley and the newly christened Io Sky. Unfortunately, Dakota Kai has been injury prone. She tore ACL. She had a concussion. She had this. She had that. She had meniscus. She had tweaks. She's also in her mid-30s. Ageism, yes, is a thing. Ageism is a thing, especially on the main roster. But also, with all these call-ups that should seem imminent, do you know how many women they have in NXT that have been in NXT for a while? And not the fact that they've not improved, it's just they have no space or they haven't called them up to the main roster. When you look at it, over the last 2 weeks, post WrestleMania, you've seen Stephanie Vaquer, Julia, and Roxanne Perez all featured on Raw. And then you do not see Dakota Kai for about 2 months. What do you think is going to happen? It's one of those things, out with the old, in with the new. They brought her back. She spent probably half the time on the injured reserve. She was a good mouthpiece, but once Io Sky got over on her own, if you think about it, coincidentally, Io Sky got over on her own with this big crowd response. She entered WrestleMania as champion and exited WrestleMania as champion, and her popularity is still rising. So much so that they actually give her promo time by herself. Guess what? That means her mouthpiece is no longer needed. Asuka and Kairi Sane, they should be returning imminently. Guess what? It's going to be sink or swim for them, or they're going to give them another mouthpiece. It is what it is. Trust me, Dakota Kai was land on the feet. And one of the telltale signs that she knew it was coming, she had an Instagram post of how she let her hair go naturally curly. And I'm thinking, like, wow, okay. She's changing her look. And then 2 days later, poof, gone. Braun Strowman, another one. He was released, brought back, injured a couple times, had the neck injury, he had the groin tear, he had all this. He's getting older, he's commanding a salary, and they pretty much reached the ceiling on Braun Strowman. What else is there to do? He lost 2 monster matches, one against Bronson Reed, and the latest against Jacob Fatu. If you're no longer the monster amongst monsters, what is your worth? Do you want him on your screen every week? No. Is he going to AEW? No. Is he going to TNA? Probably not. Is he going to revive CYA? Cover your ass? Oh, my bad. Create your narrative? CYN. Create your narrative. Probably not. Maybe he's just going to be like, you know what? I'm Adam Scher, and I'm settled. I am comfortable with the amount of money that I've amassed over my 10-year career. People fail to realize he's been in WWE for years. He was part of Adam Rose's Rose Plants or whatever the hell they called them, Rosebuds. Then he was part of the Wyatt family. Then he broke out the Wyatt family. And remember his feud, his long-running feud with Roman Reigns? I'm not finished with you. The biggest surprise is throughout Roman Reigns' 3+ year reign, there was never a match between him and Braun Strowman. Never. I wonder why. Who knows? But yeah. Braun, yeah, okay. Shayna Baszler. Once again, tag team with her and Zoe Stark. Zoe Stark is a little bit younger. Zoe Stark they say they probably might have a little bit of more of an upside, maybe, but she's boring as fuck. Shayna Baszler, her time has gone, unfortunately, and no, but not all by her fault, but her time. It's just like she will never be able to rediscover that magical run she had at NXT. They brought her up to the main roster, wrong time, worldwide pandemic. She made the best of that situation with that tag team with her and Nia Jax, which was a funny. Actually, that was funny tag team. It was multiple time tag team champions, but she never really got some type of momentum as a singles wrestler. Wasn't the greatest promo. Didn't need to be greatest promo, but unfortunately, in some cases you do. And I wonder if the heat, the supposed heat backstage between her and Jade has something to do with, you know what? Maybe she's reached the end of the road. Here we've come to the end of the road, and I can't let you go. And I thought you would, and I want to be, and you want to be. Oh, I don't know. But also, Shayna Baszler is like, what, 44, 45? Once again, you have all these young biddies in NXT waiting for call ups. Some can duplicate some of her assets. You know, we got Lola Vice. She could be the MMA girl, except she might be a little bit more marketable than Shayna Baszler. Does she go to AEW? AEW? Probably, perhaps. Does she need to? Who knows? These people that I just talked about, these are wrestlers that they stack their bread. They have a certain age. They really, they could go to AEW and rape Tony Khan for his money, or they can just say, you know what, I'm good. I don't know. I mean, could Shayna Baszler been somebody more than what she was? Yeah, but unfortunately, them's the way the ball bounces. Kaden Carter and Katana Chance, longest reigning NXT tag team champions of all time, right? They came up to the main roster. They tried to give them a little shot in the arm, and for some reason, they just did not grab onto the audience. The audience didn't grab onto them, partly because of how they were used, because they're a classic example of they get over in the ring, but you have to have some type of personality outside the ring. Have to have some type of personality as character. And the Raven character, that wasn't going to work. The writing on the wall with them was when they teamed them up. They teamed them up with Lyra Valkyria, and then Lyra start becoming a jobber, so to speak. And then next thing you know, they took Lyra off TV, and they took Chance and Carter off TV. And then Lyra came back with a renewed push, and Carter and Chance were nowhere to be found. That was the end of the world. The road. Now, people thinking, well, Kaden Carter fucking Damian Priest, you think she'd be safe? They're like, huh? Shoot. No. You fucking her. I ain't fucking her. Shoot. You want to give her bread? Give her out your salary. Bye-bye. I know it's so crass, but it is what it is. Now, NXT. Like I said, we got Cora Jade. Cora Jade is a surprise because they gave her a full push. They had her team up with Roxanne Perez, forever. Then they even shifted her over to TNA. She had a title match against Marsha Slamovich, which she came up short in. But you would think they wouldn't send her over, or perhaps that could have been a sign. You know what? We're going to send you over to TNA. See how you can hang with TNA. If you could show out in TNA, maybe we'll promote you to the main roster. If not, maybe that was just giving TNA a little sneak peek of, listen, you want to deal with her? You want her? Yeah. How was the attitude? I don't know. But the telltale sign with Cora Jade was the pre-show. She was on the pre-show of Stand and Deliver in that 4-way tag team match to become number one contender for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, and Roxanne Perez abandoned her. And you would think that would have started a feud, but then Roxanne Perez came up to the main roster again, And her Cody, her partner in crime was Julia. Corey J was nowhere to be found. Alarm bells. Yeah, that was a red flag. Now, Gigi Dolan, who I do not have a picture of. Gigi Dolan's another little surprise because she had a tag team with Tatum Paxley, and they were together with Shotzi Blackheart, and they had just had a WWE Women's Tag Team title match during a past NXT show, NXT program, and they got rid of Gigi Dolan. Why? I don't know. I don't get it. It's almost like they had it on the bench, then they merged this tag team, and it was actually looked like it was starting to get over, and then they just pulled the plug on it. But if you think about it, she's been in developmental for 5 years. There was an edict that came out last year that they're going to stop giving a lot of these people in developmental in NXT forever and a day. It's meant to be a springboard. It's not meant to be Foreverland. So maybe she just got caught in one of those things. Like, it's either shit or get on the pot. And if they had no plans of bringing it up, it's like, well, we're not going to keep you down here because we got too many people. There's so many streams of talent that they're pulling from right now that it's going to be hard for your favorites to stay on top. You got the Evolve people, you got the LFG people, you got I don't know how much, but then they just acquired AAA. You got the partnership with TNA. If you're not getting their attention, then they're gonna get rid of you, unfortunately. Eddie Thorpe was a main eventer just a couple months ago on one of those PLEs for NXT. And I don't know, for some reason he never got over with me. Like, I mean, yeah, just it was what it was. So yeah, he's gone. But so at least him and his girlfriend can be searching together. Jakara Jackson. Now, this is one that puzzles me. She was part of a tag team with Last Legend, the Metaphor Girls. They were also another NXT talent that was going and branching over to TNA and making a footprint there. They had spots on the main roster when they needed an extra tag team. A lot of people thought they were going to be the two that joined Naomi and give her a little faction. But then last week on NXT, Metaphor inexplicably broke up. Well, I understand the faction breaking up. What caught me was when Lash was like, yeah, I think Jakara, I think you need to go on your own. I think all of us need to go on our own. And everybody's like, okay. Or Mensa, yeah, he was one of those that got let go too. So pretty much half of Metaphor got let go. But Jakara Jackson, I unless something comes out that she was a handful, but even so, I don't get that one. I really think they're probably doing Last Legend a disservice by having her go solo so quick. I would say so quick, but it's almost like they giving her sink or swim moment. Like, okay, we got rid of your tag team partner, we got rid of your partner, so now it's either show and prove now, or not, or you're gonna be the next one going out the door. Yeah, it's crazy. Now these other names, Riley Osborne, okay, Chase U. All right, he's gone. Javier Bernal. All right, he's gone. Gallus, Joe Coffey, Mark Coffey, Wolfgang. Oh, hey, I swear, every time I saw that, I was just suck my teeth. Like, all these other people. I mean, we can't get no, we can't bring no. Matter of fact, and Danny Palmer gone. Matter of fact, speaking of sucking my teeth, and speaking of people being injury prone, and that's being the reason why they got released. Isn't there a certain NXT female who tore not only her right but her left leg and is still there? And I don't know why I'm blank on her name right now. That shows you how much of an impact she's made. Blonde hair, white girl, fat ass. Well, people said she had a fat ass, but in reality, it was just fat in spandex. Feminine fat, feminine fat. I like the girls that feminine fat, feminine fat, feminine fat. I really look a woman that's feminine fat. Had to pause it for a minute. Nikita Lyons, yeah. Huh. Why is she still on the roster? Who? Is she taking care of the HBK? Is she taking care of the HBK? Is she SMD in the HBK? I don't know. I know that's crass. I know that's something that it's not, it should be frowned upon. But I'm sorry, if we're talking about injury prone people, she's one of them. She's one of them. So what's good with her? She's hardly not even on TV. And yet she's to survive cut after cut after cut after cut. But you need that demographic. You need that demographic. You need somebody to thirst trap. Listen, thirst trap. Nothing thirst trapping about her. Yeah, her. Look at that. She's even aged in the face. She looked like a lion in the face. I don't know. I don't know. The one last thing I'll say, and I'm not gonna go on a big long rant as I was gonna go prior to me postponing this today, was people in the IWC, they kill me. They really do kill me. Because the majority of these people that got released, and it's the same thing over and over and over and over again. And I think I said the last time there was releases. Do you buy their merch? Do you not turn the channel when these people come on your screen? When they've gotten released, did you go to their indie shows? Did you go to their Pro Wrestling T account and buy their merch? Did you send them PayPals? Did you send them um, uh, GoFundMe's? Or did you just simply get on your keyboard, bitch and moan and complain, and then by the time the next week of shows come on, conveniently forget about them because you got your clicks, you got your likes, you got your retweets, you got your reposts, you got your shares, you got your stories. I'm asking. Because I find it very, very disingenuous when people go into the community and talk about, oh, I can't believe they did us so dirty. But yet, how about this? Just to bottom line it. I saw a post today that said some of these, or the majority of these cuts, were based on economics. Do you hold WWE accountable? Do you hold TKO accountable when every week on every show they trumpet and they champion how many sellouts, how much money they've made, how the big the gate was? This was the biggest gate ever. This was 45 consecutive sellouts. We're doing this. We're doing record business, and then you chop people from developmental that's not making hardly nowhere near the amount of money that will actually put a dent into your bottom line. Do y'all get in mass and protest? Or do y'all, oh my God, I can't believe my queen. Oh my God, I can't believe they did her so dirty. Oh my God. But yet these are the same ones that if you look at the quarter-hour ratings, when these people come on your screen, you quickly check out. So keep it real. Keep it real with us. I'ma keep it real with you. I'll keep it real with me. Fake outrage. Let me wrap this up. Well, people, that brings us to the end of another edition of the Salty Thoughts of Mike Steph podcast. I'd like to thank each and every one of y'all for making me and the podcast, making me and this hit podcast the one y'all choose to view and the one y'all choose to listen to. Next week will be more of the same. Matter of fact, next week will not be more of the same because I don't know if I'm going to record. Next week is Mother's Day. I actually might have some free time in my hands. I don't know. Stay tuned. You'll find out. The reason why Mr. Met was on your screen is because my Metropolitans are still, even though they dropped both ends of a doubleheader last night, my Metropolitans are still riding high. Riding high. With the record of 22-13. Tonight, they go out west to Arizona to face the Arizona Diamondbacks, in which we lost 2 out of 3 of last week at home. So hopefully we need to avenge those losses because we can't be coming in. We lost 2 out of 3 against the Diamondbacks. We lost 2 out of 3 against the Cardinals. Listen, if it wasn't for the rain delay, I doubt we would have won. We would have lost. But neither here nor there. No excuses. We're still number 1 in the NL East. And number 1 in your hearts and soul. So, yeah. With all that being said, please check out my brothers from Gimmick Infringement, Winchester, and McDowell, each and every late Sunday night, early Monday morning on the YouTube channel of the 19 Media Group and all streaming platforms wherever podcasts are available.
And now,
Go!
Gimmick Infringement.
Welcome, everybody, to the Gimmick Infringement Podcast. I am Brad Winchester, and with me, as always, is my tag team partner, Tyler McDowell Blanken, TMB, if you will. It is Sunday as we record this. I'm still kind of tired from the first week back, but Tyler, how we doing?
I bet you are, man. It was quite the weekend. I'm doing great. I was telling you on Friday night, I caught up with one of my best friends from.
Please check them out each and every late Sunday night, early Monday morning for the latest in pop culture, movie reviews. They have a particular interesting segment this week concerning the interview of Bill Belichick and whether or not, these are coming out of my mouth. It's coming out of my mouth. These are my words coming out my mouth. Is there any type of senior abuse going on there? I don't know, but please check out Winchester and McDowell each and every late Sunday night, early Monday morning on the YouTube channel of the 19 Media Group and all streaming platforms where the podcasts are available. Also, while you're on that channel, check out this brother right here.
Hip to the Games, the podcast for you, the basketball junkie and the hip hop head. I'm your host, Desmond, and I too have had hoop dreams and enjoy the beautiful genre of hip hop and its history. Together, we will enjoy some of the greatest albums, songs, artists, players, moments, teams, and so much more, while even mixing the two on occasion, all in my hope that you remember why you love both or either of these to begin with. You'll soon understand that Hip to the Games is more than just a podcast. It's a lifestyle. And if you were looking for a platform that combines both basketball and hip hop, you've come to the right place.
Please check out my bro, the young OG from Chicago himself, Desmond Powell, and Hip to the Games drops each and every other Friday on the YouTube channel of the 19 Media Group and all streaming platforms where podcasts are available. He is fully entrenched in these NBA playoffs, and a lot of things that he said in his NBA playoff preview have come to fruition. So please go in the archives, check him out, because he's not a soothsayer, he's a truth teller, and he knows exactly what the hell he's talking about. And hopefully, before the NBA playoffs are concluded, I will have Mr. Desmond Powell back here on my platform to talk about whatever's left to talk about concerning the NBA. Now, doubling back to one half of Gimmick Infringement, Mr. Tyler McDowell Blinken and his solo endeavor, 4AZ.
I'm your host, Tyler McDowell Blanken. There's a ton going on right now on and off screen. The semester is intensifying, holidays are approaching, and we have so much Abbott Elementary to discuss.
What we gon' do? Drive around, raise the sunroof, grab loud. We gon' come through, cause we got no time to waste. Gotta rap where we come from. Ain't a fight that we could ever run from. Tell your girl she can kick it if she wants some.
Yes, please check out the latest episode of Tyler McDowell Blanken and 4AZ. 4A, because on the latest 4AZ, and I'm going to read directly from the description in the video and on the podcasting scene, another April is in the books. The stress came and went, but we made it. Tyler welcomes Arizona-based counselor Michelle Gaines to discuss mindfulness tips for students and self-care strategies for educators. Michelle shares her journey in education, launching a wellness coaching business, and much, much more. Please check out this very, very special episode of 4AZ with Tyler McDowell Blanken and his guest, Michelle Gaines. Yes, yes. Right now on the YouTube channel of 4AZ Teach and all streaming platforms where our podcasts are available. Do you know, remember how, maybe I'm dating myself, and I probably am, but remember how you had the after school specials, or matter of fact, those special episodes where your parents were encouraged to watch along with their children? Remember the very special episode of Different Strokes, in which Dudley was taken advantage of by the bicycle shop owner, and he was filling him up with wine, filling him up with happy juice, and telling him to take his shirt off and give him ice cream. Remember how they would talk in those soft tones? On a very special episode of The Cosby Show, on a very special episode of The Facts of Life, on a very special episode of Here's a story of a lovely lady who was married in 3 years ago. There was 4 of them, they all together, and they lived all alone. Till the one day when the lady met this fellow, and the 2 of them had much more than a hunch that the 2 would somehow come a family. After Wade, we all became the Grady Bunch, the Brady Bunch, the Brady Bunch. That's the way We became the Brady Bunch.
Fuck that! Clear, guys. Fuck that! You shut your mouth. Doesn't mean that this shit stops. The Rock doesn't give a fuck.
I guess I got way off a tangent, huh? Cause The Rock reared his ugly head and it's like, you're going way too.
Fuck that!
Clear, guys.
Fuck that! You shut your mouth. Doesn't mean that this shit stops. The Rock doesn't give a fuck.
Guess what? Guess what, Rock?
He lied. Y'all niggas worship him. Lied.
Yeah. But the shit stop. Shit don't stop. Yeah, right. Where were you, Rock? Where were you during WrestleMania? Where were you?
He lied. Y'all niggas worship him.
Y'all niggas worship him. Worship him. He lied.
He lied. Y'all niggas.
He lied dead to your face. Matter of fact, I wouldn't put it behind him. The fact that The Rock had something to do with these roster cuts.
He lied. Y'all niggas worship him. Lied.
Okay. Listen, I think it's time for me to go because I'm just acting the fool and I'm doing so many things that could have just shaved off 5 minutes of this podcast. So look at that. 86 minutes and counting. Below 90 minutes for a second consecutive week. Don't tell me I'm not conscious about time being accumulated. Shoot. I'll see y'all next week. And if I don't,
he lied. Fuck that.
I'll see y'all the week after next. So with all that being said, I'm get out of here. Goodbye.
He lied. Y'all niggas worship him. Lied.